James, I'm going to ask you if you could introduce, we'll start with the TA MUNA team, and then
Sure.
I'm going to introduce Maya.
Okay. So for those of you who aren't familiar with MUNA, we've been sending students to the Assembly, to the Model United Nations Assembly in Winnipeg for many years now. Every year we send pairs of students and they get assigned a country, and it's their responsibility to learn everything they can and then to role play as they write, amend, and debate UN resolutions. MUNA brings in about 200 students from all over the district, spanning several provinces down into the States. We canceled MUNA in 2020 due to COVID, and we went virtual in 21. We were lucky to have 2 willing and motivated students representing Chile that year. They award prizes out based on how well prepared your team is. And normally this is done by a jury, but that year they switched it up and it was done by a vote of all participants. So we didn't actually place that year, but I was contacted later by the organizers who wanted to award a special prize to our Chilean team that year, which are Anwin and Akbar, who are here tonight, because they were so impressed by the amount of effort and dedication and talent that these 2 displayed. This year, we returned with 2 teams representing Belarus and Bhutan. With a year's experience under their belt, Anwin and Akbar were able to not only take the main prize for the most prepared team, but also the second place prize for most diplomatic delegation, which is considerable considering they were representing Belarus. Our other team was made up of Tegan Saunders and Josh Pitt, and they went as Bhutan. They had a great time learning the ins and outs of the assembly. Tegan also received a special shout out from the organizers for a speech she prepared and delivered during her conferences. Now, Akbar has some additional info that he's going to share with you in a second, but because she's short on time, I'm going to pass it over to Anwin right now, who I think is joining us from work. So we'll let her go first. Anwin, are you with us?
Yeah, sorry I can't have my camera on. I'm at work right now, as he said. But first of all, I would just like to thank the Rotary Club and everyone here tonight, because without your support, my teammate and I would have never had the opportunity to participate in this year's Model United Nations Assembly. Having taken part in the event last year as well, and having received the honorable mention for the Bert Friesen Award in our first year, I definitely had high expectations for both the Assembly and myself this year, and neither disappointed. Although we knew what we were going into this time, there were definitely added challenges that I faced this year, the grade 11 workload being much more time consuming than grade 10. But we were lucky enough to have had plenty of time to prepare and ended up winning the Bert Friesen Award for most prepared delegation, as well as an honorable mention for the Race Khan Award for the most diplomatic delegation. The event itself was even more fun than I remembered it being. And although our team was assigned a rather problematic country, like James said, Belarus, we were still able to perform very well, maybe even better due to the fact that our country was relatively well known. Now, obviously, being assigned to such a relevant and controversial country was a learning curve, and I had to figure out how to remove myself from reality a bit in order to act as a delegate of Belarus. This was, I think, the most difficult part of the whole experience this year, because I stand with the people of Ukraine, and everything that has happened in these past few months is absolutely horrific. So to play the antagonist at the assembly felt very wrong. Despite this challenge, though, I had another amazing debate experience this year, so much so that my teammate and I have decided to join the organizing committee for next year's event. So I look forward to continuing my journey with both the Model United Nations Assembly and the Rotary Club, and would just like to thank you all again for giving me this incredible opportunity.
And Akbar was our second delegate this year, and he's only taking second place because Anwin's got to go. It's not a ranking. But Akbar, I'll pass the mic over to you, so to speak, and you can let them know what you have to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Trudeau. First and foremost, I would like to thank the members of the Rotary Club of Kenora for their continued support to high school students such as myself on the path to become good and effective leaders of tomorrow who dedicate themselves to the slogan of the Rotary Club, service above self. Having performed a renowned performance at Model United Nations once before, this year's Muna was particularly competitive as it required my teammate and I to step out of our comfort zones, go against our values, and support Russia's illegal and baseless invasion of Ukraine in our role as the delegation from the Republic of Belarus, a country widely known as the last dictatorship of Europe. This year, the resolutions that we as a team worked on were titled A Framework for Regulating Social Networking Companies regarding data storage, usage, transparency, and terms of use to safeguard democracy, and building a post-COVID-19 circular world economy for mitigating and enhancing resilience to future climate change. As Belarus, for the first resolution, I was assigned with coming up with actions related to combating misinformation and safeguarding democracy, which was relatively hard, given Belarus's authoritarian form of government, which has detained and murdered journalists. I can say that my teammate Anwin and I partook in very heated debates, especially when in our subgroups, we were left with no allies, but only countries that had imposed sanctions and collaboratively worked on resolutions that went against our assigned countries' interests. Yet, we returned victorious and won the Bert Friesen Award for the most prepared delegation and runner-up for the Race Khan Award for the most diplomatic delegation. Moreover, I am proud to say that our award-winning performance was so liked by the judges that we have been asked to co-lead the subcommittee work on MUNA resolutions and overall team for Model UN 2023. This wouldn't have been possible without the support from the Rotary Club and without the leadership of Mr. Trudeau. Thus, we say thank you, and that I look forward to continuing my journey with the Rotary Club of Kenora. Thank you.
Thank you, Akbar. James, do we have our other team here from TA? Do we have Tegan and Josh?
Josh couldn't make it, and I don't unfortunately see Tegan on the participants list unless I'm missing. Tegan, if you're here, now is the time, but I think I don't think I see her here. I need to just thank the two of you guys, Anwin and Akbar, for all the work that you put in and the skill you demonstrated as delegates. I think your awards were very well deserved. I think it really goes to show how much work you put into it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys can do next year when you're behind the curtain, so to speak. I think we should let Maya have a chance to chat as well, if you'd like to, Maya.
So Maya is one of our delegates from the Beaver Brae Secondary School. So we're happy to have Maya here. We only had one team go from Beaver Brae this year. So Maya's carrying the weight of the school tonight. Maya, let us know about your experience.
Yeah, thank you for having me. My partner, Isaac, wasn't able to make it tonight, but we represented the country of Romania. This was my second year doing MUNA. It was Isaac's first year, and well, I can't speak for him. I know he really enjoyed it, and so did I'm really grateful for the experience. But yeah, virtual MUNA is a bit of it's a little confusing to try and do it virtually. I haven't experienced it in person, but I look forward to hopefully experiencing it in person next year. And yeah, I don't know, it's a good experience. I like it a lot. I like the debates, and I know Isaac liked it for the same reasons. So yeah.
I should point out Isaac was in my class a few years ago, Maya, and I completely understand what you mean when you said he likes the debates. He and I got into it more than once, but you guys did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing what you guys can do next year.
Yeah, and congratulations to Akbar and Anwin on their awards, or their award and runner-up award. So yeah.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. You guys were really good representatives for Kenora and both of our high schools. And I can't wait to see what you all do again next year.